From the Wayne County Courthouse in Goldsboro, North Carolina, Wayne Goldsboro Television brings you the meeting of the Wayne County Board of Commissioners. The meeting begins shortly with an agenda briefing, then the regular meeting will begin soon after. Please stand by for the Wayne County Board of Commissioners meeting.
Good morning. By the way, for those of you who didn't hear me give Carol the explanation, Commissioner Mayo's over at DSS this morning. I think the interim director started today.
That's correct.
He sent me an email yesterday evening and said he would be late, but he would be here this morning. I don't know exactly what time.
He'll be here for the 9 o'clock meeting. They have a meeting at DSS right at 8 with the staff, and he wants to introduce them.
Yeah. Okay. And he will, and he will be doing both the invocation and the pledge. We'll have approval of minutes, and then is there any adjustments to the agenda from what we've got?
No, but we will need a closed session.
Then someone from Information Technology will be over here for a special recognition, is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. Then we'll do our public comments at 9:05, and you said we got a couple.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. And we have someone coming from the long-term recovery group to answer
Yes.
questions if we have any.
Yeah, they want to make a presentation to you and then answer any questions you may
Okay.
have.
And do you like your new chair over there, Miss Allison?
I do, thank you.
That's good. I don't know who's responsible, it wasn't me. Oh, okay, you had the minutes.
They were on clearance though.
Clearance. Yeah, Darryl really likes about it. Let's talk about our budget next.
Okay.
Is this screen dead over here?
It's dead. I just tried to reboot it again, and I have notified Mr. Alley, but I can't, so you're gonna have to look over here.
Okay. We'll do that.
Sorry.
Okay, the first one is for the detention center, $909,000, and this is to reduce anticipated revenue from misdemeanor jail fees. As you know, the new facility did not open as early as we had anticipated, and they are also having to use some of the bed space for while they renovate the old facility. So we will not recognize as much of the revenues as we had anticipated for this year. We do, however, have revenues for the next budget year.
Any questions on that?
And you will see part of that was taken out of contingency. We did have some contingency monies to offset that. Okay, for the next one is lottery funds. This is to adjust the amounts that we received on lottery and our Q-Scab reimbursements to the actual amounts, and to adjust the transfers that we anticipated to make accordingly.
And I just wanted to point out that when you reduce that fund balance, that makes up for using fund balance on the other one that you just did on the jail.
Okay.
Is that what you mean?
For the Maxwell Center, we had planned to transfer $692,000 out of the capital reserve fund as additional cash to put into the project. So this is just putting that transfer on the books so that we can actually make the journal entry to do it.
Good.
And that is coming out of capital reserve, so not fund balance.
Is that where you said the auditor said we had to move the money over?
I'm sorry?
Is that where you said the auditor said we had to move the money over?
No, this is something different that we had actually planned to do and had just never budgeted to do it, but we had some monies in the capital reserve fund which have to be used for capital projects, and we had planned in our debt budget to use $692,000 of it, so this is just recording that. Okay, and I believe the next few is where we are cleaning up some capital project funds. With all these new projects we have coming on, I wanted to get the older ones cleaned up. And so the first one is for Wayne County Public Schools, and this was the fund that accounted for the renovations that were done to the various schools from sales tax and lottery monies. And so we are just cleaning up that fund. Any monies that were not used were returned to their original source.
Am I understanding, Mr. Chairman, if I could?
Yes, sir.
Am I understanding that we came under budget on
That's-
those matters?
That's correct.
So we
They-
had leftover funds and we're putting it right back
Right,
in there.
and we confirmed that with the schools, you know, we made sure that those projects were ready to be closed out before we actually did this, so.
And with our agreement with the schools, these funds would actually be used first. Okay, good.
And that's in the earlier budget amendment you see, is where we're budgeting for some of these monies that came in, that were under budget
And
here.
again, so that's what's gonna help offset the, revenue from the jail.
Okay.
Okay, the next capital project fund you see is also for Wayne County Public Schools. This was for the Grantham and Spring Creek schools. And we are cleaning this fund up as well. And all of these are being returned. We had various sources of money in that project, so we went back to the original sources on those monies, and anything that was left over in those line items we've returned. So some of them came back to the capital reserve fund, which is county dollars, and some of them went back to the sales tax fund, which is for the school construction. So we're accounting for that here. Now, we do have the project coming up for Grantham Sewer, but because that is gonna be under a different set of debt proceeds, we're gonna set up a new capital project fund for that, so it's not intermingled with this older project. Okay, the budget amendment after that one is also related to the same fund, but we wanted to split this one out separately because this has to do with the sales tax money, the 1.2 million that we fronted to the Grantham and Spring Creek project out of our capital reserve funds. As you recall, we had to pay for the sales tax up front, and then we received it back. So now that that's all kind of been accounted for and cleaned up, we're transferring that 1.2 million back to our capital reserve fund. Are there any questions on that?
You're transferring it back to our capital reserve fund?
Yes, because that's where we fronted the 1.2 million for sales tax from originally.
Okay.
Okay, I think that takes care of most of those. The next one is for animal control, and this is for cat kennels that were budgeted, and they were just budgeted in the wrong line item, so we're moving it to the correct line item. Then you have one for finance, and I believe there's 3 here that say for finance that actually relate to Hurricane Matthew expenditures. So this is, Angie is the one that's accounting for these proceeds, and she's keeping a constant check on what the ending balances should be in insurance proceeds and what we actually receive or anticipate to receive in FEMA reimbursements. So these next 3 are to clean up those line items so that they actually true up with what we expect to receive. So you've got one for $10,432.71. Then you've got another one that reduces some of the line items after a journal entry was made for $1,331.12. And then the budget amendment number 393. This one had to do with the insurance proceeds received on Seven Springs EMS station. It was owned by Seven Springs Rescue, and we rented that building from them, and we had to carry the insurance over. So we received the insurance proceeds, but it actually belongs to Seven Springs Rescue, and we have paid that out to them. But we had to budget to receive it. Any questions on those 3?
So they got the proceeds from the insurance?
That's right. That was in our lease agreement, that we would carry the insurance, but because they own the building, they actually received the proceeds because that building was damaged or is no longer going to be in use.
That was news to me too.
Huh?
That was news to me too.
I'll think about it and make a comment later.
Okay, then you have a budget amendment for facility services. The total was $57,701. They had a tractor that was flooded during the hurricane, and you will see that we received some insurance monies for that, and then the rest of it they're going to cover through one of their line items. They're really reallocating those monies out of an existing line item. And I believe we're near, well, no, we're not near the end, never mind. The rope monies is the next budget amendment, and this is for our 3rd quarter disbursement of rope funds. And as you know, that's split between the rural side and then elderly and disabled side. We have a budget amendment for social services. This is for additional foster care children that have come into our system that are eligible for state funding. 50% of that comes from the state, and then 50% of that the county must cover. So you'll see in this budget amendment, we're anticipating half of it from the state, but the other half is coming from an existing line item within the DSS budget that the county pays for. Then we have another budget amendment for social services, and this is just to balance the Progress Energy Neighbors Fund to the actual funding that we've received from DSS. I'm sorry, from DHHS. We have a budget amendment for EMS for $7,500, and this is appropriating monies out of one of their existing line items to cover professional services for the debt collection agency expenditures.
Did we not budget for that?
We did, but those contracts are based on the revenue that's coming in, and we've had higher call volume and an increase in the activity, and thus the revenues have been increased. So the debt collection piece of that has gone up as well.
Are they collecting more?
Well, we're actually taking a look at that. This particular company, I believe, may be, this is the third-party company.
Right.
That happens after our main billing company, which is EMS Management and Billing, I think is what they're called. And so we are taking a look at these to make sure that for the fee that we're getting, our collections are what they should be.
Okay.
Okay, now we're at the end. This is our fourth quarter disbursement for road funds, so this should cover us for the remainder of the year for the road program. And that's all on the consent agenda. Do you have
Is that
any
all?
questions?
Man, you kind of overworked yourself there.
Well, she's at the end of the year.
That's right.
All right, next coming up, we're gonna have we need to make a motion to add Willowbrook Drive and Brookside Way into the state
Right.
system.
Right, and you have the information here.
Already considered, right?
Yeah. Everything's in order. This is the standard process. DOT sends it over to you for approval. Obviously, we recommend approval so it can get in the state system for ownership and maintenance.
Any question on that? All right, then, moving on to new business. A motion to approve the revision to the health department policy. I think it's all in red, changes, is that correct?
Yeah, the only thing that's changed is that item in red. I wanted to show y'all. Income information reported for family planning, financial eligibility screening can be used through other programs offered in the agency rather than re-verify income or rely solely on the client's self-report. So there's that change. There's one other change here on the next page. Billing clients for care under B. See where they've struck through in red ink. Well, it just says they gotta make a note about it, but they don't have to put it in red ink. So, that's it.
All right. Then we'll have a presentation by Doug McGrath for Wings of Wayne events. Not to be confused with Wings Over Wayne. I think this
Right.
was a downtown event. He'll be here.
Right.
to do
It
that.
is. Do you want me to show the presentation now or wait?
Let's just wait.
Okay.
There's the Mental Health Month in Wayne County. Is someone gonna be here for that?
Yes, Emily Peacock, and I just realized I have a bookie.
And then an update on debris clearance grants.
I'm gonna have Ashley Smith here to give you an update on that.
Then we'll talk and then ask for a motion to approve Wayne UNC Healthcare as a service provider for Wayne County Employee Wellness Program and appropriate budget amendment to go along with that.
Right.
And let's see here, ordinance to establishing a capital project fund for the Middle Lane Edgewood School.
You want to go over that?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. This is, this is a capital project fund. It's a new project fund to be set up for Meadow Lane and the wing with the Edgewood Community School. And so you'll see that we've budgeted for debt proceeds as the revenue source. And then we've set up a couple of line items so that we can pay bills out of those line items until we know what the full budget will be.
Okay. Then a motion to approve final subdivision plan for Planter Ridge Phase 4.
You wanna go now or wait?
I would
We'll
just
just
wait.
wait. We'll wait on that.
Mr. Chairman, on the next one, I think Noel gave y'all a revised copy.
No, I have it.
Oh, you have it?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Basically, what we're doing is the first two still need to go through the upset bid process, so we need to take them off. So what we're asking you to approve is the third one, which is the Hezekiah Jones property, 218 Winslow Circle. So we're recommending you take that off, or the other two are not ready to be accepted yet because they're, got to go through the 10-day upset process.
Okay.
So
Well, why would the third one not have to go through that?
they already did it.
Oh, okay.
After that, there'll be county manager comments, the board commissioner. Do we need to close session like we did seven?
Yes.
For what reason?
One to talk about location or expansion of industries, one to consider the purchase of property, and one to consult with the keys to the attorney class.
Is there a motion to go close session?
So moved.
I got a motion on the floor, discussion. All in favor, raise your right hand.